Hello friends, in this LCD sections we are going to learn the concept of the LCD screen, how the LCD screen work, how their function, what is the backlight, and then we'll see a two problem like if the dim display is there, then what to do, or if the white display there, then what to do. Then we're going to learn 30 pin connector, then 40 pin connector, LVDS signal and EDP signal like that, and how to identify the LCD screen size and all. So first we'll learn how the LCD screen work. What is a crystal cube? Crystal cube is basically a transparent cubes. Suppose if this is a cubes and when if it is a crystals there inside in this cubes and we don't apply the power at that time the crystal this cubes will remain transparent. That means when we when we put a torch on this cubes then the light will pass. So this is a transparent. But when we apply a power to that particular cubes then it will block the light. So this is the basic concept. Like you can see in this animations, when we give the power at that time the light will stop, and when we remove the power the light will pass. So that is the basic concept of the LCD cubes. Like this you can see here, or you can see here also. So this is my cubes. When we give the white light from this side, okay, this is a polarized film, and then when we don't give the power at a time the white light will pass, and this is called the color filter. So when we give the white light, when we put a white light, and then that white light will pass through this crystal cubes, and then here is a color filter, it's a red color filter, then the red color will be come out. Okay, so this is a basic concept, and there are total three colors. So these are the three basic colors called the RGB: red, green, blue. Okay, and here the three cubes. So here the three cubes and the three filters. In front of every cube there is a different color filter, and we put a white light, it's called the backlight, and that white light pass through this cubes, and then that white light will travel to the via this filter, and that particular color will be generated. There are a number of color will be generated, mixture of these three colors. Okay, so this is a basic concept, and there are a number of cubes are fixed in the screen. Like here you can see these are the different cubes are there, different cubes are there. Like this you can, here is a, we can enlarge like this. So these are the different cubes are there, and these cubes are going to turn on and turn off, turn on and turn off by using this raw and column drivers. So here is the raw and here is the column driver, which is going to turn and on and turn off the crystal cubes. And to turn on and turn off this crystal cube, here is a circuitry, it's called the matrix decoder. This matrix decoder is going to turn on and turn off all these cubes, and this matrix decoders need a 3.3 volt, and this 3.3 volt is called LCD VDD. So this is LCD VDD. Okay, and this voltage is coming from 3 volt and 5 volt section, and if this voltage is absent then you will get a white display problem. Okay, and this matrix decoder require two more signal. The first signal is called the aux channel or the aux signal. The aux channel or the aux signal means here is a first when graphic chip is going to send a data, but before that the graphic chip send this aux signal to this screen, and he communicate with this bias and check the resolutions of the screen, size of the screen, all the information you take and inform again back to the CPU. And then what the CPU do is he send this main link, that's called a data, from this main links, and this matrix decoder received this data and turn on and turn off this row and column, and that pixel is going to turn on and turn off. Okay, now the pixel is going to turn and turn off, but there's one more thing is required, the backlight. Without backlight we can't see the display. Okay, for that this manufacturer use this LED strips. So here is the LED strips, okay, and behind that LED strip there is a use a reflector. What the reflector do? The reflector reflect that light, okay, to the entire screen. So and this is a LED strip, and to turn on this LED strips, the LED strips require 35 to 45 volt approximately. Now in our laptop the maximum voltage is 18 or 19, that is from coming from the adapters. So this is a 19 voltage coming from the adapter. So this circuit is called the backlight circuit, which called the DC to DC converter, receive the 19 volt, receive the 3 volt is called the enable, receive the 3 volt, it's called the brightness. So here is the enable, then is the brightness, and once you receive this enable and brightness and this 19 volt, this DC to DC switch that 19 volt into the 35 volt, and this 35 volt is going given to those LED strips, and then LED strips going to turn on. So this is a basic concept of the LED strips. So normally in latest all the LCD motors use a 30 pin connector, is called a EDP connector, 30 pin EDP connectors, okay. And if this 19 volt or this brightness enable or enable signal is missing, then this is LED strips is not going to turn on, this will remain off. In that case your laptop will be in Dimm display, okay. And if this is called the LCD VDD, that is 3.3 volt coming from the 3.3 volt section is coming from the motherboard, and there in between one MOSFET, and this voltage is called a 3 volt suspend, and this MOSFET is going to turn on by the graphic chips, and then this 3.3 LCD VDD come and given to this circuitry. So this is a basic concept of the LED screen. The next is we'll see how the graphic chips send the signal to the screen. So this is my LCD screen, and this is my 30 pin connector, and here is my CPU. And when we apply a power to the laptop, then immediately there is a 18 volt come across this connector pin number 28 and 29. Just remember that whenever you're going to change the screen, at that time remember remove adapter and the battery, because this 18 volt is always alive there, and if the battery is there, then the battery voltage will be there. So remember that before changing, if you want to change the screen for any reason, but before that you have to remove battery as well as adapters, okay. Now this 18 volt come across this screen at pin number 28 and 29, and when this all the process started, like when we press the power button, then the different voltages are generated, then the CPU core voltage will be generated, then the system power grid will be generated, then the PLT reset will be generated, then the CPU reset will be generated, then the clock will be generated, and after clock CPU start reading the BIOS check all the peripherals, like he do the power on self test. After everything is done, that means all the power on self test is completed, if everything is okay, then what to do is the graphic chips generate this signal, is called the LCD power enable. This LCD power enable given enable to the switch, here is a switch, or it's called the MOSFET, and then this 3.3 voltage input is given to the LCD screen, it's called the LCD VDD, okay. So LCD got the power, and then after graphic chip started communicate with this screen, there is a BIOS, so the graphic chip start communicating via this aux channel with the screen and take all the information about the screen, and then once the all information is got, then the graphic chip send this two signal, is called enable and the brightness, enable and the brightness. The both signal are the 3 volt, and then this LED strip will be turned on, the 35 voltage will be generated, and then the backlight will be turned on, okay. So once the backlight is turned on, and then here's another line is called the main link or the main line, where the graphic or the CPU started sending the graphics information via this line. So this graphic information is going to the screen, and then the screen start giving the display. So my dear friend, in this way the display works. Now how to find the problem in the screen? Suppose these are the three signal, 18 volt, 3 volt and 3 volt. One is the brightness, another enable. If any of one of the signal is missing from this side, then in your laptop you will get a dim display. Okay. Now the second thing is, if this voltage is missing, then you won't get a display, or you some more laptop you will get a white display problem. Okay. You can see here how the backlight functions. When the LED strips is on, then this crystal cube started functioning like this, transfer the light, and here is a color filter, and from the when the white light pass to the color filter, then the colors will be generated. D is the top polarizer, from the top polarizer color will be come out. Here is the backlight circuit. First is a 18 volt, then is a enable signal, that is a 3 volt, and the another signal 3 volt, that is a brightness signal, and then the backlight will be turned on. So it's like that. If one of the signal is missing, then in your laptop you will get a dim display. That already I told you. Now how the backlight circuit work, which is on the screen. So there is a circuit is called the DC to DC converter. The DC to DC converter is a circuit which generate a DC volt which the boosts the voltage. Now here is my 30 pin connector. From the 30 pin connector, pin number 26, 27, 28. These are the 18 volt, and via this 18 volt come via this fuse, and here is a coil, and here is a boost converter chips. And this boost converter chips require two mode signal. One is called the enable, that is a 3 volt, and brightness signal, that is a 3 volt. Once these chips get this two signal, then started switching this 18 volt, and then here is a diode convert that AC volt into the DC volt. This capacitor will be filter that voltage, and here we'll get a 35 voltage output, and this 35 voltage applied to the LED strips, and LED strip will start functioning. That means LED lights will be on. So in this way we'll get a backlight. Now if your laptop have a dim display problem, then first thing you have to check this inputs. Okay, this 18 volt or 3 volt. Sometimes this fuse on the screen side, so sometimes this fuse is open, so you have to check. If this fuse is open, don't replace that fuse directly. First check, is there any short circuit this side after the diode. Sometimes this capacitor gets short, so that time you have to replace this capacitor. Okay, so in that case don't change directly this fuse. Okay, change the fuse but don't apply power. Replace this fuse and then turn on. And if the fuse is okay, 18 volt is also coming okay, but 35 voltage is not generating, then just check this enable and brightness. If the enable and brightness also coming properly, but still the voltage is not coming, then in that case this buck boost converter chip is bad. So you have to replace the strips, sorry, you have to chip. Okay, so this is called a backlight circuit. LED strip is like this. Then there are two types of connector in laptop motherboard. In olden days, there is a called the 40 pin video connector. This 40 pin video connector is called the LVDS signal. Okay, and this pin is pin number 1, and this now newer laptops have only the 30 pin connector, and this 30 pin connector is called EDP. EDP means enhanced display port. These are the only 30 pin. This is pin number 1, this is pin number 30. Okay, pin number 29, 28, 27, these are the 18 volt, 22, 23 is the enable. It's like that. So here is some signal. So this is a 30 pin connector, and you can see here pin number 29, 28, 29, 26 is a 19 volt. Pin number 22 is the enable. 23 is a backlight brightness. Pin number 12 and 13 is a 3.3 LCD VDD. Okay, and aux channel, and this is the aux channel, and this is the main line. One more signal is there, is called LCD detect, or the hot plug detect, that is pin number 17. So these are the pin out of the 30 pin connectors. So pin number 12 and 13 is a 3 volt, that is LCD. Pin number 22, 23 is a enable and the brightness. Pin number 26, 27, 28 is a 18 volt. And pin number, these are the signals called the aux channel 9 and 10, and these are the main line. Okay, so how to identification of the LCD? Simple. This is the identification of this. The first two letters indicate the manufacturers, then this three letter indicate the size, this W means the wide, and if there is a mention H, that means that LCD is a HD LCD, and if it is there is a F somewhere, then that is a full HD LCD. Full HD LCD is a basically high resolutions. Okay, then you can switch to the high resolution like that. This is a 40 pin and 30 pin comparison, and this is a flow chart. When you have a laptop with a dim display or white display, then you have to simply follow the flow chart. You have to check all the signal which is mentioned over here. Is a dim display, then you have to check 18 volt. Then first you have to check whether it is a 40 pin or 30 pin. If it's a 40 pin, then you have to check pin number 38 and 39. If the voltage is not coming, then you have to check the display cable. If display cable is okay, then you have to go to the motherboard and check the fuse from the current sensing resistor. This voltage is coming from the current sensing resistor. So sometimes what happens, there is a fuse in between or some MOSFET in between. So that time that MOSFET or open or that fuse is open. So you have to check that. The next thing is, if the 18 volt is coming but still dim display is there, then you have to check a 3 volt. If it's a pin of 40 pin, then you have to check 35 or 36 pin. If it is a 30 pin, then you have to check 22 and 23 pin. If this voltage is not coming, then you have to first check the display cable. Display cable is okay, but still if voltage is not coming, then you have to go and check the lead switch or lead sensor. Lead switch or the lead sensor is basically a magnetic sensor. Sometimes this sensor is short, and due to that you will find a dim display in our laptop. So you have to check why that is short. You have to remove it. And if the lead sensor signal, you can check on the SIO. There is a pin called lead in or lead switch. So you should get there a 3 volts. 3 volt is supposed to come at that pin. If it is a 0 volt, that means the lead sensor is short. Okay, and if still 3 volt is there but still dim display is there, then this two signal, that enable and brightness signal, is coming from this graphics chips or from the CPU. Okay, so you have to check why this signal is not coming. There is maybe some small track is open or some fuse or resistor is open, something like that. So you have to check that. Okay, and now if all the signals are coming, like 18 volt is coming, 3 volt is coming, but nothing is happened, then you have to go to the display screen like this, you have to go to the display screen, and from display screen you have to check this fuse, you have to check this diode, then you have to check the enable brightness. If both the signals are coming and still 35 voltage is not generating, then in that case this boost converter chip is bad, so you have to replace that chip. LED strips bad is a very rare cases happen, so like that. So something is like that. Sometimes this capacitor is short, and due to that this fuse is blown, and then in that case you have to replace the fuse and replace this capacitor like that. So in this way, friends, you can rectify the problem in the LCD screen, either at a dim display or the white display. You can't repair LCD if there is a line problem, vertical line or horizontal line or white dot or black dot. You can't repair that. For that case, you have to replace the screen only. Okay. So thank you very much for watching this video. Have a nice day.